October 15th, 1987. Gunfire ends Thomas Sankara's revolution. Within minutes, his closest ally takes power. His body is buried. His name is silenced. But the martyr they tried to erase returns through the streets. Then Burkina Faso collapses into war. 2 governments fall in a single year, and another young captain seizes Sankara's symbol. Has Sankara's revolution returned, or is his memory legitimizing another military ruler? On October 15th, 1987, gunmen attacked a government meeting in Ouagadougou. Within minutes, Thomas Sankara was dead. The young president who had renamed his country, challenged foreign dependency, and promised an African revolution was buried hastily, while his former friend, Blaise Compaoré, seized power. 35 years later, another young captain in a red beret took control of Burkina Faso. His name was Ibrahim Traoré. Across Africa and the diaspora, millions began calling him Sankara's heir. But Burkina Faso was now trapped in a jihadist war. More than 2 million people had been displaced, and Traoré was the second military ruler to seize power in 2022. Had Sankara's unfinished revolution returned, or was his memory being used to legitimize another government born from a coup? Welcome to history's darkest deals, where we uncover the betrayals and hidden systems of power that shaped the modern world. Before Burkina Faso and Upper Volta, the region contained powerful kingdoms and societies with their own systems of authority. Across the central plateau, the Mossi kingdoms built durable states around royal courts, cavalry, agriculture, and tribute. Ouagadougou, Yatenga, and Tenkodogo became important political centers. But the territory within today's borders was never only Mossi. Bobo, Lobi, Gurunsi, Senufo, Fulani, and other communities developed different political traditions, trading networks, and farming systems. There was no single country matching the modern map. Those borders emerged through French conquest in the late 19th century. Societies that had governed themselves were absorbed into French West Africa and reorganized around imperial administration, taxation, and labor. France created the colony of Upper Volta in 1919. Colonial rule imposed taxation, forced labor, military recruitment, and compulsory cultivation. Taxes demanded in money pushed men into wage labor and long-distance migration, while administrators treated the territory as a reservoir of workers for roads, railways, and plantations, particularly in Côte d'Ivoire. In 1932, France abolished Upper Volta and divided its territory among Côte d'Ivoire, French Sudan, and Niger. The communities remained, but their colony disappeared because the empire believed its labor could be managed more efficiently elsewhere. Upper Volta was restored in 1947 after pressure from political leaders and traditional authorities. The episode revealed how colonial rule worked. The territory could be created, dismantled, and reconstructed without consulting the people living inside it. Before Sankara demanded self-reliance, France had organized Upper Volta to serve someone else's economy. Upper Volta gained independence on August 5, 1960, under Maurice Yamiogo. The new state inherited severe poverty, weak institutions, limited infrastructure, and dependence on foreign assistance. Yamiogo restricted opposition and introduced austerity measures that provoked strikes and demonstrations. In January 1966, the army removed him. Colonel Sangoule Lamizana ruled for 14 years, first in uniform and later under a civilian constitution. He was overthrown in 1980. Another coup followed in 1982 and another in August 1983. Each takeover was announced as a rescue from corruption or disorder, but every intervention weakened civilian politics and made the next coup easier to justify. The army had become not merely the defender of Upper Volta, but one of the main roads to its presidency. Into that cycle stepped Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara was a military officer, Marxist revolutionary, and gifted speaker who believed African independence had changed flags without ending economic dependency. After serving briefly as prime minister and being arrested during an internal struggle, he was brought to power in August 1983 by officers including his close ally Blaise Compaoré. Sankara was 33. He promised more than a new government. In 1984, Upper Volta became Burkina Faso, the land of upright people. The new name rejected a colonial identity and demanded a different national future. His government launched mass vaccination campaigns, promoted literacy and public health, and encouraged communities to build schools, roads, wells, and reservoirs. Tree planting campaigns confronted desertification, while agricultural policies pursued food self-sufficiency. Sankara argued that a country unable to feed itself could never be politically free. Women's emancipation became central to the revolution. The government opposed forced marriage and female genital mutilation, appointed women to senior positions, and encouraged their participation in education, employment, and the military. Sankara insisted that society could not be liberated while women remained oppressed. He reduced official privileges, promoted locally produced goods, and condemned foreign debt and aid relationships that preserved dependence. In 1987, he urged African governments to confront their debts collectively, warning that isolated resistance would be punished. But his government also restricted political freedom. Committees for the defense of the revolution gained power in communities and workplaces. Opponents, union leaders, and journalists faced intimidation, dismissal, or detention, while revolutionary tribunals sometimes sacrificed legal safeguards for political theater. Sankara was neither a flawless saint nor simply a dictator. He attempted enormous change at extraordinary speed, creating passionate loyalty and powerful enemies. By 1987, divisions inside the revolution were deepening. Sankara had alienated traditional authorities, merchants, sections of the civil service, trade unions, and military officers. His relationship with Compaoré, the friend who had helped bring him to power, was deteriorating. On October 15th, Sankara arrived for a meeting at the Conseil de l'Entente in Ouagadougou. Armed men entered the compound and opened fire. Sankara and 12 colleagues were killed. Their bodies were buried hurriedly, and their families were denied a truthful account. Compaoré seized power and announced that the revolution would be rectified. Sankara's name was pushed out of official life, while serious investigation into his death was blocked for decades. Suspicions of foreign involvement spread because Sankara had challenged French influence, regional elites, and international financial institutions. But suspicion is not proof. No conclusive public evidence has established that France, Côte d'Ivoire, or another foreign government ordered the assassination. What is proven is that Compaoré benefited directly and ruled for 27 years. In April 2022, a Burkinabe military court convicted him in absentia of complicity in Sankara's murder and sentenced him to life imprisonment. The assassination froze Sankara at 37, forever young, defiant, and untouched by the compromises of long rule. The men who killed him ended his government, but they created a martyr capable of haunting every government that followed. Compaoré dismantled, softened, or abandoned much of Sankara's revolutionary program. Relations with France improved. Cooperation with international financial institutions resumed. And Burkina Faso moved away from Sankara's confrontational economic vision. Elections were introduced, but Compaoré's party dominated the state. opposition forces operated at a disadvantage, and the security establishment remained powerful. Abroad, he became a useful regional mediator. At home, Sankara's unresolved assassination remained a wound he could not close. A younger generation discovered Sankara through speeches, music, and family memories. The longer Compaoré ruled, the younger, braver, and less corrupt Sankara appeared by comparison. Then Compaoré attempted to remain even longer. In October 2014, Compaoré tried to change the constitution so he could seek another term. After 27 years, mass protests erupted in Ouagadougou. Demonstrators stormed and burned the parliament building, carrying images of Sankara through the streets. On October 31st, Compaoré resigned and fled. His government had survived elections, military unrest, and decades of opposition. It could not survive a population refusing to grant him more time. Sankara had been killed, but the political anger associated with his legacy had survived. After a turbulent transition, Roch Marc Christian Kaboré won the 2015 presidential election. But Burkina Faso soon entered its worst modern security crisis. Armed groups linked to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State expanded from Mali. Soldiers, schools, religious communities, government officials, and civilians became targets. Villages were abandoned, roads became dangerous, and large rural areas slipped beyond reliable state control. France was not the sole cause. The crisis grew from regional insurgencies, porous borders, weak institutions, poverty, local grievances, government neglect, and abuses by security forces. Armed organizations exploited fear and anger, presenting themselves as protectors in some communities while terrorizing others. By March 2023, government figures recorded more than 2 million internally displaced people. The 2021 attack on the Inata gendarmerie post, where dozens were killed after reports of severe supply shortages, became a symbol of government failure. Many citizens stopped asking whether military rule endangered democracy. They asked what democracy meant if an elected government could not protect them. That desperation reopened the barracks. In January 2022, Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba overthrew President Kaboré, promising to reorganize the military and defeat the insurgency. But attacks continued, towns remained isolated, and confidence in Damiba collapsed. On September 30th, junior officers removed him. Their leader was Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a 34-year-old artillery officer who accused the first junta of failing for the same reason it had condemned the civilian government. The war was still being lost. Traoré appeared in military fatigues and a red beret, speaking of sacrifice, sovereignty, and national rescue. The comparison with Sankara was immediate. Traoré had not only seized the presidency, he had seized Burkina Faso's most powerful political symbol. Traoré's popularity cannot be dismissed as propaganda. It comes from genuine anger over insecurity, corruption, French influence, and the belief that Burkina Faso's gold has enriched foreign companies while local communities remain poor. His government ordered French forces to leave, strengthened relations with Russia, and joined Mali and Niger in the Alliance of Sahel States. Supporters point to agricultural programs, local manufacturing, mining reforms, and greater state involvement in gold production as evidence that the country is reclaiming sovereignty. The World Bank estimated economic growth of 4.9% in 2024 and 5.3% in 2025, while recorded gold production rose sharply. The symbolism is deliberate. Sankara has been elevated as a national hero. Traoré speaks of dignity, sacrifice, and self-reliance. Across Africa and the diaspora, he is presented as the captain, returning to complete the revolution interrupted in 1987. But symbolism is not achievement. Traoré seized power primarily on the promise of restoring security, yet jihadist attacks continue. His government expanded civilian defense volunteers, increasing national mobilization, but also exposing communities to retaliation. State forces and allied volunteers have faced serious allegations of unlawful killings and collective punishment, claims the authorities have rejected or disputed. Political space has also narrowed. Journalists, activists, and critics have reported detention, disappearance, or punitive military conscription. The transition was extended for 5 years from July 2024, potentially keeping military rule in place until 2029. In January 2026, the government dissolved all political parties and transferred their assets to the state. In April, Traoré told the country to forget democracy until security was restored. His defenders argue that elections cannot be credible while armed groups control territory and citizens cannot vote safely. His critics respond that nearly every military ruler claims the emergency is too dangerous to surrender power. Both sides touch a real truth. Burkina Faso faces an existential crisis, and previous governments failed catastrophically. But a leader can resist foreign domination while accumulating dangerous power at home. Sovereignty is not only the right to expel foreign troops or renegotiate mining contracts, it is also the right of citizens to organize, criticize, and eventually choose their rulers. Traoré's image has also been enlarged by digital mythology. Genuine speeches circulate beside fabricated quotations, manipulated videos, and false claims about projects that do not exist. Millions admire him not only for what he has done, but for what they need him to represent: an African leader who refuses humiliation. That hope is real, but hope cannot replace evidence. Sankara's legacy was never merely a red beret, anti-French rhetoric, or military rule. It was the demand that leaders sacrifice before asking ordinary people to sacrifice. Sankara himself restricted political freedoms, and that failure must also be remembered. Traoré's place in history will not be decided by how closely he resembles Sankara in photographs. It will be decided by whether Burkina Faso becomes safer, more sovereign, and more accountable, or whether another temporary military government becomes permanent. Is Ibrahim Traoré reviving Sankara's unfinished revolution, or using Sankara's memory to legitimize another long period of military rule? Tell us what you think in the comments, and subscribe to History's Darkest Deals.